Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to a rare second episode of today's videos with Dr. Jet. I talked about painting in today's video, and one of my viewers, who I shall call Jim, because his name is, in fact, Jim, asked some questions about painting and made some comments, and I said, you know what? I'll do another video today. And so for those of you that are going, oh my God, not another Dr. Jet video, you can blame Jim. Anyway, this, underneath this plain brown wrapper, if you look, you can see, well, you can't really see, this is the American Spirit. It's in this plain brown wrapper, and the only thing exposed is the canopy. And I have just shot it with several light coats of metallic silver. And it's dry to the touch. And I think I'll wait till later on this afternoon, maybe tomorrow. It'll probably be better tomorrow. And then I'm going to shoot this on and then let the whole thing bake and bake and bake. This is Duplicolor Metal Cast. Now, I have seen it applied over Krylon, so it should work without crazing anything. So it'll be all good. Then my plan is this, because up here it's all blue and my canopy is blue, and it's just slightly a different kind of blue, whereas this is just plain blue. This will be this kind of anodized, chromish, cool looking blue, but it's still blue on blue. So along the outlines, just fading in, I'm going to take out the trusty airbrush and I'm going to spray a gold sort of fade edge. Think of a sunburst guitar where it's going to go from gold to blue. So that it'll just kind of have this gold edge around this blue, and that should look bitchin' and set the canopy off completely. I mean, it should just pop after that. So that's my plan. So Jim, in addition to letting the paint dry, now this I can shoot another coat on because it's just within the time period. It says, before this many hours or after that many hours. So I may wait the full 24. And you can see this silver, there's several coats on here, and it just barely covers. You can see the white masking tape, and the silver just barely covers it, so I'm trying to keep things thin. This edge where the tape comes up is going to leave a little, rough edge because the paint kind of flows up against the tape and it makes a little meniscus there. So I don't want to sand this after it's on because it's like a candy color, and if you sand it, you're going to lose the depth. So what I may do is take black tape and just run black tape around the edges, right up against that paint edge to kind of soften it up and make it look cool. So that's my plan. So until tomorrow or the next day or whenever, jet out. Well, just to make this video even longer and to answer some more questions, I went ahead and I shot the blue on there because I was still within the 6-hour window, and I didn't go too crazy on it. I didn't want it too dark. It would start competing with this. And so as you can see, it came out bitchin', but up against the blue, it needs something to set it off. So the reason I took off the plain brown wrapper is I don't want all that adhesive tape, all that blue tape stuck to the existing painted surface. So I'm leaving only that tape which masked off my area in place. That's the only tape I'm going to leave in place. So I'll let this thing dry for a while until my gold paint arrives. And when my gold paint arrives, I'll make a new plain brown wrapper, put it on, and shoot just a fade of gold from the edge in, just to set it off, and it'll make a nice edge around from blue to blue, and you'll have the gold fade into this cool iridescent kind of cool looking blue that's about the same intensity as this blue. So it's got to have something to set it off. The gold, it'll pick up this gold here. Okay, boys and girls. Oh, I was going to tell you one of the secrets for getting good lines. One is tape. Now, this is some tape I've had around for a long time. It's called Nitto tape, and it's an awful lot like really thin electric tape. It curves real nice and smooth, and it adheres real well and doesn't leave much residue. So that's why I'm going to see if I can still get this stuff, and I'll give you guys links to it. But the other secret is, you spray your paint on and you go over with some real fine wet or dry, like 1,000 or 2,000 grit, just real fine to knock down the high edges where things are masked off. But what that often does is it just kind of bleeds a little bit of one color, especially if you've got white. It'll bleed red onto the white or blue onto the white, and they just don't look right together. So here's a little secret I discovered. And remember, your paint has to be good and dry. And the thing I've discovered is Barkeeper's Friend. It's like Comet, but it's far, far less abrasive. They advertise it as non-abrasive at all, but if you work real hard, you can see a little bit of red coming up with it. But I use just a bit of it along these joint lines, just on a wet paper towel, a little Barkeeper's Friend, just it cleans things right up. You'll see a tiny bit of red, but that's cool. That's like sanding a little bit. So that's what I use on these things, on these paint lines, is, I knock off the real high edges with some 2,000 grit, and then Barkeeper's Friend, and just go in here, and it brings the white right back out, and everything is cool again. So that's the little secret I have discovered. Don't tell anyone, okay? Until next time, Jet out.